Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Step Forward channel. Sometimes you need to disappear for a while to truly find yourself. In a world where everyone is trying to be seen, to show off, and to prove something, it can feel strange to choose to step back and focus on yourself. But trust me, there is incredible power in temporarily falling off the map and taking time to transform. Today, we're going to dive into how you can do just that, how to retreat from the outside noise, focus on your personal growth, and come back stronger, more confident, and as the person you were always meant to be. This isn't about running away or avoiding life. This is about intentionally creating the space you need to grow without the distractions and pressure from the outside world. I know it might sound a little unconventional, but sometimes the best way to find yourself is to give yourself the time and space to level up. And when you return, whether it's to your career, your relationships, or just your daily routine, you'll be amazed at the new version of you. If you're ready to discover how going ghost for a bit can help you become the person you've always wanted to be, then this video is for you. Let's get started. First, control your narrative. It sounds simple, but believe me, this one is a total game changer. How you handle what you say and what you don't will define your success on this journey of transformation. Have you ever noticed how often you talk about what you're about to do? You tell your friends your big plans, tell your family your dreams, maybe even post about it on social media. It feels good, right? Sharing those ideas makes it feel like you're already halfway there. But here's the hard truth. Every time you talk about your plans too soon, you're leaking the very energy you need to make them happen. Let me break it down. When you constantly talk about your goals, your brain gets a premature sense of accomplishment. It starts to believe you've already done something just because you said it. And what happens then? You've spent your energy talking instead of doing. You've traded real progress for a fleeting moment of satisfaction. I'm not saying you have to be a complete vault, but the key is to be selective. Guard your words like you guard your most valuable possessions. Think about it. Would you leave your wallet or your phone out for anyone to grab? Of course not. So why would you do that with your dreams and plans? When you control what you say, you take back control of your focus and your energy. You're no longer scattering your ideas to the wind. Instead, you're holding them close, nurturing them, and giving them the space and time to grow strong. That's where real transformation begins. Let me let you in on a secret about highly successful people. They move in silence. They let their actions speak for them. You rarely hear them bragging about their next move or spelling out every detail of their plan. Why? Because they understand the power of silence. They know that actions are always louder than words, and they let their results do the talking. You don't need to announce your goals to the world to make them real. You don't need anyone's approval to get started. In fact, the fewer people who know what you're up to, the bigger your advantage. When you work in silence, you're free from the noise, from the distractions of outside opinions. You can put all your focus on what actually needs to get done. Think about it. Every time you share your plans, you're opening the door to feedback, questions, and even doubt. Not everyone is going to get your vision, and that's okay. But if you're constantly seeking validation or trying to justify yourself, you're burning precious energy that could be used to move forward. I get it. This isn't easy. We all crave connection and support. We all want to hear someone say, "That's a great idea," or "You're going to kill it." But here's the truth. You don't need that praise. You don't need anyone's validation but your own. When you stop looking for approval from the outside, something magical happens. You start trusting yourself more. You begin to realize you're fully capable of making things happen without a pat on the back from anyone else. That's the source of real confidence. Not what others think, but what you know you can do. So, how do you put this into practice? Start by being more mindful of what you say and who you say it to. Before you speak, pause and ask yourself, is this really necessary? Is sharing this going to help me, or is it just for a quick ego boost? If the answer isn't a clear yes, it's probably best to keep it to yourself. And when you do need to share, be selective. Talk only to your inner circle, the people who genuinely want you to win, who will support you without judgment or distraction. These are the people who give you honest feedback when you need it and cheer you on when things get tough. But even then, keep some of it for yourself. There's a special power in privacy. When you keep your plans under wraps, you're not just protecting them from the critics, you're protecting them from your own internal doubts. You're creating a mental sanctuary to focus, to experiment, and to grow without unnecessary pressure. Trust me, when you start controlling your words, you'll feel a tangible shift. You'll be more focused, more energized, and more in control of your life. You'll stop worrying about what others think and start focusing on what truly matters: your progress, your growth, your transformation. And the best part? When you let your actions speak, people will notice on their own. You won't have to say a word. They'll see the results of your work and wonder, how did they do that? That's the most valuable kind of recognition, not from promises, but from what you've actually achieved. So next time you feel the urge to share your plans, just pause. Think about what you're giving away by speaking and what you could gain by staying silent. Remember, every word you save is a piece of energy that can be converted into action. This is the first step to disappearing and transforming yourself. Control your words, protect your focus, hold on to your energy, and let your results speak for you. Because at the end of the day, it's not what you say that matters, it's what you do. And starting right now, begin to practice that. Reflect on it, apply it, and watch the incredible change it brings to your life. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice, and this is one of the most powerful choices you can make. Second, focus on self-validation. What matters more than anything else is how you see yourself, not how others see you. That's a hard truth. We live in a world that's constantly pushing us to seek validation from the outside, from likes on social media, praise from our boss, or applause from our friends. We're practically programmed our whole lives to crave approval from others to feel worthy. But think about it. If your self-worth depends on what other people say, you're building your house on sand. That kind of validation is flimsy, it changes with the wind, and it never lasts. If you truly want to transform yourself and reach a more powerful version of you, you have to learn to value yourself. You have to become your own biggest supporter. You have to be confident in your own worth without waiting for someone else to sign off on it. You have to understand that you don't need anyone's permission to be great. You just need to decide it for yourself. But remember, loving and validating yourself doesn't mean you're delusional about being perfect. It doesn't mean ignoring your flaws or pretending you have nothing to improve. Instead, it's about accepting yourself as you are right now, flaws and all, and knowing that you are worthy regardless. It's understanding that you are exactly where you need to be on your own growth journey, and that you can go even further if you keep putting in the work. So, how do you cultivate this inner validation instead of chasing nods of approval from the outside? First, you have to stop outsourcing your self-worth. Every time you catch yourself waiting for a compliment to feel good, stop and ask, why am I looking for the answer out there when the real answer is always in here? Instead of relying on other people's opinions, learn to listen to your own. Ask yourself, am I proud of what I'm doing? Does this path feel right to me? If the answer is yes, then that's the only validation you need. A simple but powerful way to build this inner confidence is to celebrate your small wins every single day. Don't wait until you've hit a massive milestone to allow yourself to feel proud. Finishing an important task, keeping a promise to yourself, or simply sticking with a positive habit, all of it deserves to be acknowledged. Don't wait for someone else to clap for you. Learn to be your own cheerleader. When you do this regularly, you'll feel stronger, more self-reliant, and you won't need anyone else to confirm your value. But most importantly, when you prioritize your own validation, you'll learn to say no to things that don't serve you. When you're constantly seeking approval, it's easy to agree to things you don't actually want. But when you value yourself, you understand that saying no is your right. You have the right to turn down things that pull you away from your goals, the right to prioritize what matters to you, and the right to protect your energy. That's not selfish, it's self-respect. And of course, when you start living this way, there will be critics. There's always someone who won't agree with you, who won't understand your choices, or who will even judge you. But instead of letting those words shake you, learn to handle them intelligently. Listen to feedback objectively, but only take on what's genuinely helpful. If there's some truth to it, use it to grow. If not, let it roll off your back. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Remember, you can't please everyone, and more importantly, you don't have to. When you stop seeking external approval, something incredible happens. You start to feel more confident and more at peace. You're no longer playing a guessing game about what others are thinking because you already have the answer from within. And when you're secure in yourself, it radiates naturally. People will feel that solid ground you're standing on. They'll respect you for it. But by then, you'll realize you don't even need it anymore because you already have the greatest validation anyone could ever ask for, your own. So, from today on, stop looking for approval outside of yourself. Every time you catch yourself waiting for someone else to validate you, turn inward. Ask yourself, am I truly proud of what I'm doing? If the answer is yes, that's enough. Celebrate your own wins, learn from your losses, and keep moving forward. What others think of you is not nearly as important as what you think of yourself. Hold on to that. Make it your guiding principle. Because in the end, the only person you need to impress is the one staring back at you in the mirror every day. Believe in yourself. Value yourself. You already have everything you need right inside of you. Believe it, act on it, and never forget you are worthy. Now, start this journey. Show yourself that you can do extraordinary things. No permission, no validation needed. Everything you need is already within you. Trust it, act on it, and make it real. Third, guard your plans like a vault. When you think about your dreams and goals, do you feel an urge to share them with others? It's tempting, isn't it? You want to tell someone what you're working on, what you hope to achieve. Maybe you feel excited to share, or perhaps you're looking for encouragement or validation. But I've learned something crucial. There is immense power in keeping your plans to yourself, in guarding them like a precious treasure. Don't get me wrong, this isn't about being secretive out of fear or a lack of confidence. It means understanding the true value of your dreams and treating them with the care they deserve. When you share your plans too early or with too many people, you're unintentionally exposing them to unnecessary risks, judgment, criticism, and even doubt. And the last thing you need when you're trying to build something important is a cloud of negativity hanging over your head. Imagine your goal is a seed. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to show it off to people. You protect it. You water it. You care for it. You make sure it gets enough sunlight. And over time, with patience and care, it grows into a strong tree. But if you expose it too soon, before its roots have a chance to take hold, it can wither and die. Your dreams are the same way. One of the most important reasons to keep your plans quiet is that not everyone will see the vision you're chasing. Some people might not get it, others might not believe in it, and that's okay. They don't have to understand, and they don't have to believe, because the dream is yours. Your mission is to nurture it and bring it to life, not to seek a committee's approval. When you share your plans too widely, you might hear things like, "That's not realistic," or "Are you sure you can do that?" These comments can plant seeds of doubt in your mind. And no matter how confident you are, those doubts can creep in. They can slow you down or even make you waver. That's why keeping your plans under wraps, especially in the early stages, is so critical. But I get it. Sometimes it's hard to keep things to yourself. You might be excited, or you might want support. There's nothing wrong with that. If you absolutely need to share, be highly selective. Choose your confidants wisely. The people who are always in your corner, who share your mindset, who genuinely want the best for you. But even then, share sparingly. You don't need to reveal the entire blueprint, down to every last detail. Guarding your plans also helps you stay focused. When you're not spending time explaining or defending your path to others, you have more energy to focus on what actually matters. You'll worry less about outside opinions and dedicate all your passion to building the life you want. It's like cutting out the static so you can hear your own inner voice more clearly. Another reason to keep your plans quiet is that actions carry more weight than words. There is a deep, profound satisfaction that comes from working quietly and letting your results speak for themselves. When you achieve your goal, people will see what you've accomplished. And trust me, that moment will be more powerful than any conversation you could have had about what you were going to do. Keeping your plans private also gives you control. It's your dream, your journey, and your process. When you keep it to yourself, you have full authority over how it develops, when it happens, and how it's executed. You're not pressured by other people's expectations or timelines. You are in the driver's seat, and that's what matters most. Furthermore, keeping your plans to yourself builds discipline. It teaches you to trust yourself and your own vision. It helps you learn patience, and that patience will be an invaluable asset in every area of your life. Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. What you're building isn't just a quick result, it's something sustainable and valuable for the long haul. Remember, keeping your plans quiet doesn't mean living in isolation. It means being intentional and selective about how you share. It means understanding that your dreams are worthy of protection. With less noise around you, you'll have more focus and clarity to do what's important. Now, take a moment and think about your goals. Ask yourself, am I oversharing? Am I letting too many outside opinions influence me? If the answer is yes, it's time to pull back, get more focused, and remind yourself that this journey is yours alone. And if you feel that urge to share, ask yourself why. If it's because you're seeking validation, remember that the most important validation comes from within. If it's because you're excited, channel that excitement into working harder and getting closer to your goal. Your plans are the sacred blueprint for the life you want to create. Treat them with the respect they deserve. Protect them, nurture them, and let them grow over time. And when the time is right, when everything is ready, you can share your accomplishments with the world. By then, you won't need to explain anything, because your success will speak for itself. So, protect your dreams, hold your plans close to your heart. Trust the process. This is your journey, and you get to decide how it unfolds. Stay focused, stay patient, and keep moving forward. You've got this. Fourth, make progress in silence. Making progress in silence is one of the most powerful tools for changing your life. This isn't about being secretive or hiding from people. It's about prioritizing action over announcement. Many people have a habit of sharing what they're doing too soon, hoping for encouragement or recognition. But the truth is, your results will always speak louder than any of your words. When you're constantly telling people what you're about to do, you're draining the energy that should be going into the actual work. You might feel like you've accomplished something just by talking about it, but in reality, you haven't. You're just making noise. Real progress happens when you put your head down, focus, and do the work consistently. It happens when you stop talking about climbing the mountain and actually start climbing. Keeping your progress quiet helps you avoid unnecessary distractions. When you don't overshare, you're not swayed by the opinions or unsolicited advice of others. Sometimes, even with good intentions, their comments can make you hesitate or doubt your path. But when you work in silence, you create a space where your only competition is who you were yesterday. And it's in that space that real growth happens. Silence not only shields you from external influences, but also helps you connect more deeply with your own work. When you're not looking for external validation, you start to trust your own judgment more. You learn to listen to your gut, to understand what's working and what needs to be adjusted. By detaching from the need for outside approval, you become the master of your own journey. Making progress in silence also helps you stay humble. When you're not constantly seeking attention or applause, you remain focused on the process rather than the prize. And that's what truly matters, because the process is what shapes you. What you do in those quiet moments when no one is watching is what builds true strength. To do this, you need patience. Success doesn't happen overnight, and that's perfectly okay. Big changes don't come from a single grand gesture, but from small, consistent actions repeated day after day. When you make progress in silence, you give yourself room to experiment, to make mistakes, and to learn from them without the pressure of an audience. You don't have to worry about what others will think if you stumble. You can test, adjust, and keep moving forward, free from the judgment of others. This doesn't mean you have to be a total hermit. Having a small, trusted circle of support is important. These are the people who will lift you up without judgment, who want to see you succeed without placing unnecessary expectations on you. But be selective. Share only with those who have earned your trust. And then, when you finally achieve your results, the silence you've maintained will make your success resonate that much more powerfully. There's something beautiful about letting your results speak for themselves. It's like a garden you've tended to in private, and one day, when the flowers start to bloom, everyone notices the beauty of your work, without you having to say a single word. When you work in silence, you also build a rock-solid sense of self-confidence. Every step you take without needing external validation reinforces your belief in yourself. You learn that you don't need applause to keep going. You don't need an audience to succeed. All you need is the determination and discipline to keep moving forward. One of the biggest challenges is the urge to share when you're making progress. When you hit a significant milestone, it's hard not to announce it. But every time you feel that urge, pause and ask yourself, why do I want to share this? Am I looking for validation? Am I hoping for encouragement? If the answer is yes, remember that the most important validation comes from within. Let your actions do the talking. Silence isn't about cutting yourself off from the world. It's about creating a focused space where you can grow without distraction. It's how you protect your journey. It's how you maintain clarity to put all your energy into what truly matters. The next time you want to publicize your plans or your progress, just take a beat. Ask yourself if it's really necessary. Most of the time, the answer will be no. Stay quiet. Focus on the work. Let your results make the noise for you. When you make progress in silence, you give yourself the most valuable gift of all, uninterrupted growth. You learn to trust yourself, focus on your goals, and patiently pursue them. And when the time comes, the results you achieve will say everything that needs to be said. Keep going. Stay disciplined, and remember that what you do today in silence is building the brilliant future you've dreamed of. Keep walking. You're on the right path. Fifth, forging strength through hardship. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to see them as obstacles, things that block us from getting where we want to go. But in reality, challenges and hardships don't just show up to test you. They show up to build you. Strength isn't something you're born with. It's forged in the fires of what you overcome. And the only way to become truly strong is to dare to face what's difficult, to walk into the fire instead of running from it. Think about working out at the gym. When you lift weights, what happens? Your muscles tear a little, but then they grow back stronger than before. Life is the same way. Challenges might make you feel like you're breaking down, but they're actually refining you, preparing you for something bigger, and helping you become a more resilient, solid version of yourself, ready for whatever comes next. Of course, facing challenges is never a walk in the park. When life throws you a curveball, your first instinct is often to run, to find a way around it. But avoiding a challenge doesn't make it disappear. It just delays the lesson you need to learn. The truth is, every hardship carries a purpose. It teaches you patience, it forges you into someone stronger, and most importantly, it shows you that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. The question isn't if you'll face challenges, because you absolutely will. The real question is how you will respond to them. The strongest people aren't the ones who've had an easy life. They are the ones who have walked through storms, who have tasted failure, hurt, and loss. But what sets them apart isn't that they avoided these things, but how they used them as a launchpad to go higher. They didn't let fear or failure stop them. They didn't quit just because they fell. Instead, they learned from every mistake, from every setback. They understood that every challenge is an opportunity to level up, to mature.
When you're in the middle of a struggle, it's easy to focus only on the pain and discomfort it brings. But remember this, the pain is temporary, but the strength you gain from overcoming it is permanent. Every time you push through a difficult situation, you're building the foundation for your future success. You're proving to yourself that you can endure and go far beyond what you once thought was your limit. A challenge isn't always a roadblock. Sometimes what looks like a failure is actually a perfect setup for something better. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted. Maybe a relationship didn't work out the way you hoped. Maybe you've been rejected or have failed. All of those things hurt, but sometimes those moments are redirecting you to something far greater, something you never would have found without those stumbles. The key is to trust your journey, even when you can't see the full picture. Trust that every challenge is shaping you in ways you might not understand right now. Trust that it's preparing you for opportunities you haven't even thought of yet. But trust alone isn't enough. You have to act. You have to face those difficulties, even when it's scary, even when it's uncomfortable. Because on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that pain, is growth. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about being willing to get back up every single time you do. It's the determination to not let life's challenges defeat you. Every time you stand up and push forward, you're proving to yourself that you are not easily broken. You are stronger than any obstacle in your path. Becoming strong through challenges also means learning to let go of what you can't control. There will always be things in life that are out of your hands, and that's okay. What matters is that you focus on what you can do, on the steps you can take, no matter how small. Any progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. Also, find your circle of positive people, the ones who can lift you up when you feel like giving in. Being strong doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, with leaning on the people you trust. The important thing is that you never give up, that you keep moving forward, one step at a time. And don't forget to acknowledge every small victory. Every challenge you overcome is a testament to your strength, a milestone of the resilience you've built. Take the time to look back at your journey and recognize how far you've come. Even if you're not at your final destination yet, acknowledge your effort, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've achieved. Life isn't a journey of avoiding challenges. It's a journey of facing them, overcoming them, and turning them into opportunities to become the best version of yourself. So the next time you face a difficulty, don't run from it. Step up to it. Embrace it. Use it as leverage to lift you higher. Because every challenge not only makes you stronger today, but it also prepares you for the entire road ahead. And that is how you transform yourself. Sixth, define your transformation goals. Life isn't meant to be a random drift, where you just go with the flow without any direction. Yet so many people live that way. They let the days pass by, only to look back one day and realize they're still in the same place, no closer to any real change. If you don't actively define the goals for your own transformation, how will you know where you're going? How will you know when you've achieved what you set out to do? Picture a long road trip. You'd never get in the car without a destination, right? You'd need a map, a specific route. You'd need to know what to pack, what stops to make, and how to handle any challenges along the way. The journey of self-transformation is exactly the same. If you want to become a better version of yourself, you need to clearly define what that looks like. Who do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to live? What values will shape the person you are? Don't rush the answers. These aren't questions to be glossed over. Sit down, write them out, and really think them through. Allow yourself to dream bigger than you ever thought possible. Don't limit yourself to your current circumstances, because limits are just something you set for yourself. Once you have a picture of your future self, break it down into specific, concrete goals. If you want to be healthier, what does that mean? Do you want to lose weight, build muscle, or simply have more energy every day? If you want to switch to a new career, what job is it? What skills do you need to get there? Clarity is key. The more specific you are, the easier the path forward becomes. But there's something more important than anything else. Your goals must come from you. Don't set a goal just because society expects it of you, or because someone else told you that's what you should do. Sustainable change can only come from a genuine desire within you. When a goal comes from your heart, you'll have the motivation to see it through, even when it gets tough. And once you know what you want, ask yourself, why do I want this? The stronger your why, the more resilient you'll be in pursuing it. Maybe you want to change to be a better role model for your children. Maybe you want to prove to yourself that you can do things that once seemed impossible. Whatever your reason is, hold on to it. Write it down. Put it somewhere you can see it every day. It will be your North Star, helping you stay the course when things get difficult. But you know, when you set big goals, everyone has fears. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Those thoughts are normal. Everyone experiences them. But don't let them stop you. You don't need to have all the answers from the get-go. Change is a process, not a single moment. You can start with small steps and adjust as you go. The most important thing is that you dare to start. Remember, a goal isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. Every step you take, no matter how small, is making you stronger, more skilled, and more resilient. The process itself is the real transformation. And if your goals are too easy, you're probably not aiming high enough. Set goals that force you to step out of your comfort zone, because it's only when you dare to challenge yourself that you discover what you're truly capable of. Once you've identified your goals, commit to them. Write them down. There's something magical about putting your goals on paper. It makes them feel more real. Don't just write them and forget them. Put them where you can see them every day, on your desk, your bathroom mirror, or as your phone's wallpaper. Look at them daily to remind yourself why you started. And if you can, share your goals with one person you trust. When you say it out loud, you feel more accountable to yourself. Plus, having a supporter to cheer you on will help you stay persistent on your journey of change. Defining your goals for transformation is how you take control of your life. It's a declaration that says, "This is the person I want to become, and I will do what it takes to get there." You don't need to wait until tomorrow. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You can start right now, in this very moment. Because every day you procrastinate is a day you waste the opportunity to become the best version of yourself. Get started. Take action. And one day, not too far from now, you'll look back and know that you have truly transformed. 7th, design your life around your goals. Your life should revolve around the goals you've set for yourself. This isn't just about creating a rigid plan or trying to do everything perfectly. It's about much more than that. It's about building a life where every action, every habit, and even your surroundings are in sync with the person you're striving to become. Because, let's be real, everything in life works best when it's in alignment. What you do every day, the people you see, the space you live in, all of it will either move you closer to your goals or pull you further away from your path. You have to understand that transformation can't happen in chaos. It only emerges when you've built a solid foundation, a system that supports the path you're on. The first thing to look at is how you use your time, your most precious resource, which, once gone, you can never get back. How you use your time today determines who you will be tomorrow. Take an honest look. Where is your time going? Is it being invested in what truly matters, or is it being wasted on meaningless things? If you want to achieve great things, you have to start valuing every single moment. What you need to do is identify your top priorities in life. What is truly important to you? What has the biggest impact on your growth? Once you're clear on that, you need to build a routine that reflects those priorities. This doesn't mean you have to micromanage every minute of your day, but you do need direction. If your goal is to learn a new skill, set aside at least an hour each day to practice. If you want to improve your health, plan your meals and make time for exercise.
Never underestimate the power of daily habits. They help you maintain consistency and reduce decision fatigue. Good habits are the anchors that keep you steady, no matter how the world outside changes. Start your day with intention. Maybe that's journaling, exercising, or simply rereading your goals. Find what works best for you and stick with it. Your environment also plays a huge role in your journey of change. Have you ever noticed how your living and working spaces affect your energy and focus? If everything around you is cluttered and full of distractions, how can you expect to stay focused? Take the time to organize your surroundings. Declutter and get rid of things you don't need. If you can, create a dedicated workspace, a place that helps you concentrate. Surround yourself with things that inspire you. Maybe it's a vision board, motivational quotes, or simply a clean, quiet space that helps you think clearly. Similarly, the people you interact with daily have a massive impact on your journey. Are they lifting you up, or are they dragging you down? If you're surrounded by negative, skeptical people, or those who constantly distract you from your goals, your journey will be much harder. Seek out like-minded individuals, people who inspire you, challenge you to be better, and truly believe in your dreams. Sometimes this also means setting boundaries. It's not always easy, but it's necessary. If someone consistently brings you down or wastes your time with things unrelated to your goals, don't hesitate to say no. You have the right to protect your energy and focus on what matters most. On top of that, your daily habits are the foundation for building a life that aligns with your goals. What you do repeatedly shapes who you become. Ask yourself, are my current habits helping me move forward or holding me back? If you spend hours scrolling aimlessly through social media, procrastinating on important work, or getting caught up in meaningless activities, you're wasting precious time and energy. Start small. Pick one good habit and commit to it. Maybe it's waking up earlier, drinking more water, or spending 30 minutes a day learning something new. Small changes, when maintained consistently, create huge differences over time. But most importantly, designing your life around your goals isn't just about actions, it's about your mindset. Your mind is the engine that drives everything else. If you believe in yourself, if you are committed to your journey, you'll be willing to take risks and keep going even when things get tough. Pay attention to your own thoughts. Are they helping you move forward or holding you back? When doubt creeps in, remind yourself why you started. Focus on the process instead of just the end result. And, importantly, don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how small, because every step forward, no matter how tiny, is a sign that you're on the right track. Don't get caught up in comparing yourself to others or chasing their expectations. Your journey is unique. It doesn't need to look like anyone else's. Be patient with yourself. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. There will be days when you feel like nothing is changing. That's normal. The important thing is that you keep moving forward, that you stay true to the path you've chosen, because the results will come as long as you don't give up. Take a look at your life right now. What's working? What isn't? What do you need to change to make your life an environment that supports your goals? Start with the smallest things. Stay consistent, and most importantly, believe in yourself. You are building something amazing, one choice at a time. Keep going. You can absolutely do this. 8th, reprogram your mind. Reprogramming your mind isn't a process you can finish in a single moment. It's not like flipping a switch and instantly thinking in a new way. This is a long journey that requires patience, intention, and a commitment to changing, step by step, how you see yourself, your circumstances, and your future. Your mindset is the foundation for all of your actions, and those actions will shape the life you are living and the one you will live. If you're still holding on to limiting beliefs, to thoughts that make you feel small, powerless, or stuck in old patterns, then it's time to challenge them. Have you ever told yourself, "I'm not good enough, I can't succeed," or "I don't deserve that"? Where did those thoughts come from? Were they things someone else planted in your mind, or are they just stories you've been telling yourself for years? The truth is, you can rewrite those stories.
But to do that, you have to start by paying attention to how you talk to yourself. Ask yourself, if you had a best friend, would you say the same things to them that you say to yourself? If the answer is no, then you see the problem. You need to change your internal monologue. Whenever you notice a negative thought popping up, replace it with a positive one, an affirmation that makes you feel stronger. Don't say, "I can't do this." Instead, "I am learning and improving every day." At first, this might feel awkward or even fake, but stick with it. Repetition will gradually make your brain accept and believe it. This is how you reprogram your mind, with consistency and a constant reinforcement of positive beliefs. Your environment also plays a crucial role in shaping your mindset. Ask yourself, what kind of mental space are you creating? Is it a place full of growth, or is it overshadowed by anxiety and fear? The people you interact with, the books you read, the content you consume daily, all of it directly influences how you think. So make it a priority to surround yourself with positive energy, inspiring content, and people with a growth mindset. Listen to talks that expand your perspective. Read books that make you think more deeply, and spend time with people who encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. A powerful tool for reprogramming your mind is visualization. Spend a few minutes each day imagining the life you want. Picture yourself achieving your goals, living a meaningful life, and feeling confident in yourself. Create a clear, vivid picture in your mind. What are you wearing? Where are you standing? Who is around you? Let yourself truly feel the emotions of that success. When you practice this regularly, you're training your brain to believe it's possible. And when your beliefs change, your actions will follow. Alongside visualization, another key element in resetting your mindset is gratitude. Gratitude can change how you see everything because it shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. Every day, take a moment to think about the things you're grateful for, no matter how small. Maybe it's a roof over your head, a friend who always has your back, or simply the opportunity to wake up in the morning and continue your journey of growth. When you maintain a gratitude practice, you'll realize that your life is always full of good things, and that's the fuel you need to keep moving forward. However, reprogramming your mind isn't just about positive thinking. It also requires you to be realistic and take responsibility for your own life. Sometimes we tend to blame our circumstances or other people for what's happened in our lives. But as long as you see yourself as a victim, you're unintentionally giving away control of your life to others. Only when you truly take ownership of yourself, of your choices, your actions, and even your mistakes, can you truly be in charge of your life. This doesn't mean you should beat yourself up for past mistakes. Instead, look back and ask, what did I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? When you change how you view life's challenges, you'll no longer see them as failures, but as opportunities for growth. And the most important thing in this process is that you must embrace discomfort. Any kind of growth comes with a feeling of unease because our brains love safety and familiarity. But every time you feel scared, anxious, or uncertain, it's a sign that you're growing. Don't run from it, face it, and walk through it. That's how you get further on your journey. Remember, failure is not a final destination. It's not the end. It's a stepping stone to success. The people you admire, the ones who have achieved great things, have also failed, maybe once, twice, or even hundreds of times. But the difference between them and those who quit is that they didn't let failure define them. They learned, they adjusted, and they kept moving forward. The process of reprogramming your mind doesn't happen overnight. There will be days when you feel like you're not making any progress, days when you doubt yourself. But that's part of the journey. The important thing is that you keep showing up every day. Keep practicing new ways of thinking. Keep implementing positive habits. Every time you catch a positive thought popping into your mind, acknowledge it. Every time you react in a better way than you used to, give yourself credit. Those moments are the proof that you are growing, that you are becoming a better version of yourself.
You have the power to change your mindset And by doing so, you will change your life. It all starts with small steps, changing how you talk to yourself, surrounding yourself with positivity, being grateful for what you have, and daring to take responsibility for your life. This is the moment for you to rise, to step beyond your old limits, and to move toward a future you deserve. Keep going, keep believing in yourself, and watch your life transform, day by day. You've got this. Emerge or stay hidden. As you embark on your journey of self-development, as you change your life, sharpen your skills, and explore new paths of growth, there will be times when you want to emerge, to show the world your progress. But there will also be times when you just want to stay quietly in the shadows, continuing your work without anyone knowing. Both options have value, but what's crucial is that you understand the real reason behind your decision. Temporarily disappearing doesn't mean you're running away. It's not about avoidance or fear. It's how you create a private space for yourself to grow, free from the pressure of external expectations. You don't need to rush to prove anything to anyone. When you choose silence, you allow yourself to fully focus on your own journey, undistracted by the gaze or comments of others. Not every phase of your life needs an audience. Maybe you've gone through significant hurt, failure, or disappointment, and now you need a quiet period to rebuild from the ground up. In those moments, retreating isn't a sign of weakness. It's a wise move. It's when you solidify your own foundation, so that when you do reemerge, you're not just stronger, but you also have more depth. This disappearance doesn't mean you stop trying or give up on your dreams. In fact, it's often the period when you work the hardest, but you're working on yourself. You're honing your mind, building a stronger mindset, sharpening your skills, and reinforcing your self-belief. This is a process that requires patience, and you don't need to rush to share it with the world. You have the right to walk in silence, to grow in private, without seeking validation from the outside. But be careful. Silence can also become a trap if you use it as a way to avoid challenges. If you hide forever just because you're scared, worried about being judged or failing, then you're limiting yourself. Yes, there are times to retreat, but there are also times when you must bravely step forward. Re-emerging doesn't mean you have to do something grand or earth-shattering. Sometimes just a small step forward, a subtle shift, is enough to mark a new chapter in your life. When you feel you're ready, when you know you've genuinely grown after a long period of self-work, that's when you should consider stepping back into the light. But remember, this return isn't about seeking recognition from others. It's not a proud declaration to prove a point. It's simply the expression of a person who has worked relentlessly, who understands themselves better, and who is now ready to move forward as a better version of themselves. There are no rules that say you have to emerge in a specific way. You don't need to share every detail of the journey you've been on. You don't need to create a loud, splashy comeback. Sometimes, small but meaningful actions, a steady change in how you live and work, are enough to affirm your growth. Whether you choose to remain in silence or step back into the light, always remember that the most important thing is to be true to yourself. Don't force yourself into a certain mold just to impress others. When you do return, make sure it's the real you, a person who is genuinely stronger and more profound because of the experiences you've been through. Ask yourself, who am I now? You're not the same person you were before. You've changed, you've progressed, you've learned valuable lessons. Let this new version of you shine in its own way. Don't hide what you've learned. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. The most important thing is to maintain balance. There are times to retreat, but there are also moments when you must dare to step up and face the world. Trust your intuition to know when the time is right. And when that moment comes, don't hesitate. You've come a long way, you've changed, and you deserve to live authentically as the strong person you've become.
The journey of self-development doesn't always need an audience. There are phases when you need to retreat, to focus on refining yourself. And there are moments when you need to step boldly into the light, sharing the value you've cultivated. Most importantly, whether you choose to stay in the shadows or re-emerge, always be true to yourself.
always keep moving forward and always become the best version of you. If you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a comment below to share your thoughts. Hit the like button to show your support. Share this video with those who need it. And most importantly, subscribe to the Journey to Success channel so you don't miss out on our next valuable content. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.